thus: I will forgive and this will disappear. These are the words the Holy Spirit speaks in all your tribulation, all your pain, all suffering, regardless of its form. These are the words with which temptation ends and guilt abandoned is revered no more. These are the words which in the dream of sin, and rid the mind of fear. These are the words by which salvation comes to all the world. These are the words by which salvation comes to all the world. I will forgive and this will disappear. I will forgive and this will disappear. Shall we not learn to say these words when we are tempted to believe that pain is real and death becomes our choice instead of life? All things are lessons God would have me learn. Forgive and you will see this differently. All things are lessons God would have us learn. Forgive and we will see this differently. Forgive and we will see this differently. All things are lessons God would have me learn. Here on a rainy, let's see, it's lesson 193, a very meaningful lesson for me. You'll find as you go along, certain lessons will just grab you and teach you and hurl you years in advance in what you would have been without it. Well, this is one for me that hit me in I think it was around 1990, let's go with 97. I don't remember the exact year, but I learned this lesson. All things are lessons God would have me learn. And what's the lesson? Forgive, and you will see this differently. Anything that speaks of terror, answer thus: I will forgive, and this will disappear. Let's look at the lesson. We're 193 for Sunday, July the 12th of 2026, a rainy day. My daughter Rebecca and her husband Jake gave me a canopy, 10 foot. I'm out of the rain, but it's kind of loud and kind of dark. So all things are lessons God would have me learn. For Sunday, July the 12th of 2026, and I'm Forgiveness Willie, passionately teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. Thanks for joining me. God does not know of learning. Yet his will extends to what he does not understand, in that he wills the happiness his Son inherited of him be undisturbed, eternal, and forever gaining scope, eternally expanding in the joy of full creation, and eternally open and wholly limitless in him. That is his will, and thus his will provides the means to guarantee that it is done. God sees no contradictions, yet his Son believes he sees them. Thus he has a need for one who can correct his erring sight and give him vision that will lead him back to where perception ceases. God does not perceive at all, yet it is he who gives the means by which perception is made true and beautiful enough to let the light of heaven shine upon it. It is he who answers what his Son would contradict and keeps his sinlessness forever safe. These are the lessons God would have you learn. His will reflects them all, and they reflect His loving kindness to the Son He loves. Each lesson has a central thought, the same in all of them. The form alone is changed with different circumstances and events, with different characters and different themes, apparent but not real. They are the same in fundamental content, and it is this: forgive, and you will see this differently. Certain it is that all distress does not appear to be but unforgiveness. Yet that is the content underneath the form. It is this sameness which makes learning sure, because the lesson is so simple that it cannot be rejected in the end. No one can hide forever from a truth so very obvious that it appears in countless forms and yet is recognized as easily in all of them, if one but wants to see the simple lesson there. Forgive, and you will see this differently. These are the words the Holy Spirit speaks in all your tribulation, all your pain, all suffering, regardless of its form. These are the words the Holy Spirit speaks in all your tribulation, all your pain, all suffering, regardless of its form. These are the words with which temptation ends, and guilt, abandoned, is revered no more. These are the words which end the dream of sin and rid the mind of fear. These are the words by which salvation comes to all the world. Shall we not learn to say these words when we are tempted to believe that pain is real and death becomes our choice instead of life? Shall we not learn to say these words when we have understood their power to release all minds from bondage? These are the words which give you power over all events that seem to have been given power over you. You see them rightly when you hold these words in full awareness. And do not forget these words apply to everything you see, or any brother looks upon amiss. How can you tell when you are seeing wrong, or someone else is failing to perceive the lesson he should learn? Does pain seem real in the perception? If it does, be sure the lesson is not learned. And there remains an unforgiveness hiding in the mind that sees the pain. Through eyes the mind directs. God would not have you suffer thus. He would help you forgive yourself. His Son does not remember who He is, and God would have him not forget His love and all the gifts His love brings with it. Would you now renounce your own salvation? Would you fail to learn the simple lessons Heaven's teacher sets before you, that all pain may disappear and God may be remembered by His Son? All things are lessons God would have you learn. He would not leave an unforgiving thought without correction, nor one thorn or nail to hurt His holy Son in any way. He would ensure His holy rest remain untroubled and serene, without a care, in an eternal home which cares for Him. And He would have all tears be wiped away, with none remaining yet unshed, and none but waiting their appointed time to fall. For God has willed that laughter should replace each tear, and that His Son be free again. We will attempt today to overcome 1,000 seeming obstacles to peace in just one day. Let mercy come to you more quickly. Do not try to hold it off another day, another minute, or another instant. Time was made for this. Use it today for what its purpose is. Morning and night, devote what time you can to serve its proper aim. And do not let the time be less than meets your deepest need. Give all you can and give a little more. For now we would arise in haste and go unto our Father's house. We have been gone too long, and we would linger here no more. And as we practice, let us think about all things we saved to settle by ourselves and kept apart from healing. Let us give them all to Him who knows the way to look upon them so that they will disappear. Truth is his message. Truth his teaching is. His are the lessons God would have us learn. Each hour spend a little time today and in the days to come in practicing the lesson in forgiveness in the form established for the day. And try to give it application to the happenings the hour brought, so that the next hour is free from the one before. The chains of time are easily unloosed in this way. Let no one hour cast its shadow on the one that follows, and when that one goes, let everything that happened in its course go with it. Thus will you remain unbound in peace eternal in the world of time. This is the lesson God would have you learn. There is a way to look on everything that lets it be to you another step to Him and to salvation of the world. To all that speaks of terror, answer thus, I will forgive, and this will disappear. To every apprehension, every care, and every form of suffering, repeat these self-same words, and then you hold the key that opens heaven's gate and brings the love of God the Father down to earth at last, to raise it up to heaven. God will take this final step Himself. Do not deny the little steps He asks you take to Him. And what's your little step? To every apprehension, every care, every form of suffering, regardless of how minute it appears to be, repeat these self-same words. I will forgive, and this will disappear. All things, everything that happens to you is a lesson God would have you learn. Learn to quickly say, I will forgive, and this will disappear. Whatever was ailing you will disappear. Okay, let's go back and look in our text reading. And we're in chapter 20, Roman numeral 7, chapter 20, the vision of holiness. Roman numeral 7, the consistency of means and end. If you're reading through the original edition with me, read chapter 20 also. Roman numeral 8, which is the same, consistency of means and end. 1 Timothy, if you're reading through the New Testament, read 1 Timothy chapter 4. In Iyengar Yoga, read blocked arteries asanas, which are page 249 to 251. If you read now the Course of Love, read in book 3, chapter 3, the consent of the covenant of the new, page 418 and 419. The consistency of means and end, chapter 20, Roman numeral 7, in our text. We have said much about discrepancies of means and end, and how they must be brought in line before your holy relationship can bring you only joy. But we've also said the means to meet the Holy Spirit's goal will come from the same source as does His purpose. Being so simple and direct, this course has nothing in it that is not consistent. The seeming inconsistencies, or parts you find more difficult than others, are merely indications of areas where means and end are still discrepant. And this produces great discomfort. This need not be. This course requires almost nothing of you. It is impossible to imagine one that asks so little and could offer more. 2. The period of discomfort that follows the sudden change in a relationship from sin to holiness may now be almost over. To the extent you still experience it, you are refusing to leave the means to Him who changed the purpose. You recognize you want the goal. Are you not also willing to accept the means? If you are not, let us admit that you are inconsistent. A purpose is attained by means, and if you want a purpose, you must be willing to want the means as well. How can one be sincere and say, I want this above all else, and yet do not want to learn the means to get it? 3. To obtain the goal the Holy Spirit indeed asks little. He asks no more to give the means as well. The means are second to the goal. And when you hesitate, it is because the purpose frightens you, and not the means. Remember this, for otherwise you will make the error of believing the means are difficult. Yet how can they be difficult if they are merely given you? They guarantee the goal, and they are perfectly in line with it. Before we look at them a little closer, remember that if you think they are impossible, your wanting of the purpose has been shaken. For if a goal is possible to reach, the means to do so must be possible as well. Paragraph 4. It is impossible to see your brother as sinless and yet to look upon him as a body. Wow, catch that. It is impossible to see your brother as sinless and yet to look upon him as a body. So we want to just see him as sinless, which is seeing him beyond the body, not as his home being the body. Is this not perfectly consistent with the goal of holiness? For holiness is merely the result of letting the effects of sin be lifted. So what was always true is recognized. To see a sinless body is impossible, for holiness is positive, and the body is merely neutral. Is it not sinful? Oh, it is not sinful, but neither is it sinless. As nothing, which it is, the body cannot meaningfully be invested with attributes of Christ or of the ego. Either must be an error, for both would place the attributes where they cannot be, and both must be undone for purposes of truth. Isn't that something? Both must be undone for purposes of truth. The body is the means by which the ego tries to make the unholy relationship seem real. The unholy instant is the time of bodies, but the purpose here is sin. It cannot be attained but in illusion, and so the illusion of a brother as a body is quite in keeping with the purpose of unholiness. Because of this consistency, the means remain unquestioned while the end is cherished. Seeing adapts to wish, for sight is always secondary to desire. What do we desire? Do we desire to see our brother holy? Well, that's what we'll see then. And if you see the body, you have chosen judgment and not vision. For vision, like relationship, has no order. You either see or not. 6. Who sees a brother's body has laid a judgment on him and sees him not. He does not really see him as sinful. He does not see him at all. In the darkness of sin, he is invisible. He can but be imagined in darkness, and it is here that the illusions you hold about him are not held up to his reality. Here are illusions and reality kept separated. Here are illusions never brought to truth, and always hidden from it. And here in darkness is your brother's reality imagined as a body, in unholy relationships with other bodies, serving the cause of sin an instant before he dies. Oh my. 7. There is indeed a difference between this vain imagining and vision. The difference lies not in them, but in their purpose. Both are but means, each one appropriate to the end for which it is employed. Neither can serve the purpose of the other, for each one is a choice of purpose, employed on its behalf. Either is meaningless without the end for which it is intended, nor is it valued as a separate thing apart from the intention. The means seems real because the goal is valued, and judgment has no value unless the goal is sin. 8. The body cannot be looked upon except through judgment. To see the body is the sign that you lack vision and have denied the means the Holy Spirit offers you to serve His purpose. How can a holy relationship achieve its purpose through the means of sin? Judgment you taught yourself. Vision is learned from him who would undo your teaching, the Holy Spirit. His vision cannot see the body because it cannot look on sin, and thus it leads you to reality. Your holy brother, sight of whom is your release, is no illusion. Attempt to see him not in darkness, for your imaginings about him will seem real there. You closed your eyes to shut him out. Such was your purpose. And while this purpose seems to have a meaning, the means for its attainment will be evaluated as worth the seeing, and so you will not see. And the last paragraph, 9. Your question should not be, how can I see my brother without the body? Ask only, do I really wish to see him sinless? Because if you're valuing his sinlessness, that's what you're going to see. And you'll transcend the body and all the things done with the body. And as you ask, forget not that his sinlessness is your escape from fear. Salvation is the Holy Spirit's goal. The means is vision. Salvation is the Holy Spirit's goal. The means is vision. For what the seeing look upon is sinless. No one who loves can judge, and what he sees is free of condemnation. And what he sees he did not make, for it was given him to see, as was the vision that made his seeing possible. Okay. It goes along with our lesson today. If you think you see something in your judging your brother and it's causing you some pain, step back and remind yourself, all things are lessons God would have me learn. Let me learn a lesson right now in this situation and forgive, and I'll see this differently. Okay, I see what's going on around the world. It's Vativar for the Armenian Apostolic Church, which is it's a pagan goddess Ashtagic, and also the Christian feast of Transfiguration of Jesus. They've combined both those, and it's called the celebration of Vativar in the Armenian Apostolic Church. It's Orangeman's Day, also known as the 12th night or the Glorious 12th of Northern Ireland, when King William overthrew James II. Big celebration holiday there. Let's see, Barn Day, found these on holidays and observances. Different Colored Eyes Days, Etch-a-Sketch Day, Eat Your Jello Day, Pecan Pie Day, the Caria Illinoisensis. And if you're in this part of the Ozarks, 4 that seem to be pretty good cultivars for the Caria Illinoisensis are the Kanza, that'd be my first choice, the Major, the Pawnees, another good one, and the Shepherd. So there's a few varieties that you might think about growing. New Conversations Day. New Conversations Day. Let's have a conversation about love your neighbor as yourself and how you can practice removing all pain by practicing what? Forgiveness. Paper Bag Day. Simplicity Day. Yesterday, yesterday, I meant to say it was Grange Day, which is actually, and I forgot to tell you, it's the oldest agricultural advocacy organization, started in 1867. Yesterday Day. Yeah, I tell you, I get confused with my writing. And then I want to tell you a little bit more about dandelion, the Texicum, or the Taxicum officinale, where the whole plant is medicine. It's a perennial, properties, apparent, cholagogue, diuretic, stomachic, and a tonic. The root particularly removes excretions and water from the body and the liver. Really strengthens the liver and helps it do its function of removing things that are poisons. It strengthens the liver, removing poisons. Fresh squeezed juice is very effective and healthful. You squeeze that juice from the leaves, the flower, and from the root, or just eat the whole plant. I just like to cut them up and add them in my salad. A little bitter, but you get to where you kind of like them. I like them. Tea or squeezed juice, good for edema, dyspepsia, which is indigestion, constipation, fever, insomnia, and been used for hypochondria. Okay, and then out of edible landscaping, we've got another hardy female kiwi, and Actinidia arguta, and it's the Dumbarton Oaks hardy female kiwi. It is in public domain. It does need a pollinator. And let me just read to you what it says in edible landscaping. Early maturing Dumbarton Oaks hardy female kiwis ripen 3 weeks before Anna, one of our favorites. Original vine growing in Georgetown, Washington, D.C. Only 55 female kiwis ripen. Only 55 female kiwi ripens earlier at the nursery, with one named 55. Space 15 foot apart on a trellis, zones 5 through 8. All things are lessons God would have me learn. All things are lessons God would have me learn. Forgive and you will see this differently. All things are lessons God would have us learn. Forgive and you will see this differently. To all that speaks of terror, answer thus: I will forgive and this will disappear. Shall we not learn to say these words when we are tempted to believe that pain is real and death becomes our choice instead of life? All things are lessons God would have us learn. Forgive and you will see this differently. To all that speaks of terror, answer thus: I will forgive and this will disappear. To all that speaks of loss of peace, be sure to tell yourself: I will forgive and this will disappear. All things are lessons God would have me learn. Forgive and you will see this differently. And our word for peace, we're going to take it from the archipelago of Indonesia, those 7,500 islands. And it's the Batak language, specifically on Sumatra and Samosir, and it's Pardamean. Pardamean be with you. All things are lessons God would have me learn. Forgive, and you will see this differently. Pardamean.